So thank you for joining today's webinar, where we're going to be walking through the common RFP questions for digital adoption platforms. We see more people joining in, so as they join, we will go through the presentation. Everything seems to be working okay from our end, so it's okay to begin. A quick introduction. I am the Customer Success Manager at Newired. My name is Tiaga Naidu, and I will be walking you through the common digital RFP questions. Some type of questions that may be common in these RFP questionnaires is describe the product, what are the business values that it brings. Some other options may be to list some top use cases, who are your main competitors, what are the tracking mechanisms does the platform provide. Language is always comes up in these RFPs, and customizability. So we will definitely cover all these questions in our webinar today. We'll start with a quick introduction about Newired. Our mission here at Newired is to define new digital ways and reduce the distance between the digital world and people. We started our journey in 2016 and have been constantly praised by customers and independent software review companies for our transparency in price and all-around delivery of our application. We diligently continue working at improving our software as we expand in this market. Let's start by focusing on some product value. So at the core, we provide a guidance system that allows the end user to have a learn by doing approach within their application. We help public and private organizations reclaim the power by providing a non-technical overlay on their web application that guides their end users through a specific process, or it can nudge people along while completing a complex task, be it over one application or multiple applications, displayed in multiple languages if needed. Here we have a graph showing the training constraints that is faced in traditional training methods. In most cases, retraining staff is required, and if there are any changes or change requests lodged to the process management, there's a noticeable drop-off experienced, causing a perceived failure of the application or the process. We address this in multiple ways, like reducing support requests, cutting training costs, improving application adoption, and employee productivity. So this stat is brought to us by one of the leading information technology research and consulting companies. Gartner states most digital transformations fail due to the points I mentioned in the previous slide. But also technology is advancing exponentially, and the constant training is mandatory, to name a few other. But most importantly, failure to adapt adds a compounding effect to the backlog in costs and user acquisition or retention relating to adopting new technologies. You may be asking yourself, what are some of the top use case scenarios for Newired? This is what some of our clients have mentioned besides the guidance over their standard operating procedures, onboarding new users, or even detailing a process to an existing tool chain for current users that may have been recently changed, or also introducing a new application within the organization. I think if you added a benefit for instruction or training processes, the added benefit for those two things can really go miles in the organization. We also have partnered with many organizations that see the value in embedding our Newired software into their software to improve the adoption or help with complex tasks in the application for their clients. Our solution also comes with an analytical component, which gives the sales team some insight to the usage of this of the application. We have some add-on surveys, if targeted to the right segment, can bring a lot of insight, ensuring the guidance system is focused to the end user, the end user's needs. So moving on, who are our main competitors? We see the main competitors are not the other digital adoption platforms, but it's more traditional training methods. Let's take this example of wanting to learn how to drive a car. You could definitely follow many books, watch some online videos, even go through a simulation of some sort, but nothing compares to the doing approach, where you actually sit in a car with an instructor that shows you and really helps you to learn how to drive. And that's what these digital adoption platforms bring to the market. It's the concept of having a virtual assistant as a driver through the software. It assists your users with the elemental use case of each software. So we believe our main competitors is more the market awareness of something like a DAP exists. It's time to adopt a modern approach and improve rates by using the digital adoption platform. So now we can touch base in some of the capabilities, take a deeper dive to the actual capabilities of our application by understanding how we deliver this dynamic interaction, how does it really look, and the use of the guidance system from the end user's perspective. I will now be showing you the concept of learn by doing on a simple application. To deviate a little from the webinar topic of the standard RFP questions and show you a live demo on how we deliver these benefits to our clients and their users. So for the live demo, I'll be switching across to one of our demo sites or demo applications that we utilize. It is something that you may not have seen before, but don't be too worried. It's really just the demo site. So let's just open this up here. Here we have our demo. It's really just a sandbox CRM that we use on our demo servers. It's just loading up. Give me. Here we go. So already we have Newired showing up as a automatic response to welcome new users. They can be guided through the login process. This is an optional setting that can be changed. So it immediately kicks off a journey asking us to start the login process, and we are able to get into our CRM site. Let's not save all these. We are then given a second instruction, welcome inside the CRM, give us some options for the help in the triangle, and you can also send some feedback if you need more help. So we'll end the journey here, and you have an option to have an auto start. So if you refresh the page, you wouldn't want to see these messages again, you can just stop the auto start. Right at the bottom here, we have our little launcher that says help. From here, you can have all the guidance tools that the content creators or authors have created. For this example, we're going to try and do a quick CRM overview. It tells us the purpose of the CRM. You can even embed your own graphics in here. So let's just click on next to follow the process along. We understand what each tab is going to help us do. And it also explains a little bit about the dashboard. So this is really just the overview of our product. We can launch a new journey. We call them journeys through the guidance system from an existing journey, or you could end and send feedback. If we get into something a little bit more interactive, where we ask in some input from the end user, be it on like how to create an account, let's try clicking on this. It says let's click on create first. If you notice the screen is slightly grayed out, this stops the user from clicking elsewhere but where you've instructed them to. So for this case, we want the user to really create a new account. So they go on following the processes of clicking through the guidance tool. We then have a little panel telling us what we required to do on this page, making sure that we fill out all mandatory asterisks. And once done, we click next. So let's start. We'll put in a telephone number. We'll put in a little description. Sales per. Whoops. Okay. Person, and we save. That's good enough for now. Once we've reviewed it, we click save. So automatically the system has added a rule in saying that all asterisks need to be filled out. So it pops in and says, well, Mr. User, you need to add in this field as well. Once you've done, please save your document or your application, and a new user has been created. So this takes away the complexity from tasks. If you want to spotlight a process so that the end user can actually follow through a specific action, that's possible. You can also have what we call tooltips. These are not part of the CRM itself. It's actually part of the Newired overlay. And in here, you can either launch new journeys, or you could have some sort of direction or nudge within these fields to tell a user what to do in the billing address, or please put in an address from the United States. These are all possible within the application. So I think that shows a little bit about our system. Just a little bit more, we have something called playbooks. These are a library of journeys, so we can track, um, the end user can actually track to see how much more effort is needed to complete a process or task. Or we also have the ability to change language, but I will get into this a little bit more detailed through our presentation, our webinar. And you also have a option to change user experiences. So you can imagine a new user would like to see how to log in, for example, but a proficient or administrative user wouldn't need to know have to know these simple tasks. And this can all be validated through the edit and editor. So this is, in a nutshell, the overlay that Newired provides. We will go back to the slide screens. Okay, we provide a smooth process for all involved to make the digital transformation uh, with very little technical knowledge needed to create a robust guidance system focused on their users. There is a little technical skills needed for the initial setup, which only happens in the beginning and only once. Thereafter, we enable people to design and create guides, announcements, tooltips, polls, and other content that will be implemented on their web application and available in context when it is needed. So what tracking mechanisms do we provide? As mentioned before, we do not track uh, any personal data, personal user data. However, we provide an analytic element to our guidance system. The things we track are everything related to the journeys and also feedback from the end user. This feedback could be anonymous, or they could put in their details if they'd like. Information is only available to the content authors. The type of usage reports and content that the content author may view is all the information related to the engagement within the journeys, um, and its results of the journeys. Was it successful? Answering questions. Is it helpful? Which journey was most used over a period of time or specific month? Which journey had the most amount of drop-offs or failures? This can be utilized in improving the guidance tool. The aim of this element in our solution is to help our clients really understand where the need is and if this is really adding value in aiding the completion of a simple or complex task or process. This analytical element can be switched off completely or used like I explained. But most importantly, we are aligned with the GDPR policies in place. How do we manage the publishing process? Good, okay. So this is really a special part of our application. Take, for example, working on a development server and a production server. You'd like to tie these guidance systems in together. We have a way that we use relative URLs. So everything that remains after the main part of the URL is linked to the guidance system. And these can run congruently if needed. We also use a version in root of publishing, and this can also be exported. The guidance process can be exported into a Word document with screenshots and all related data to each step for the guidance process. This is something that really works well for the review needs. One of our clients in the medical sector really make good use of this, as this needs their content needs to be signed off, and having a document where each change can be tracked and is something that works really well for them. They also utilize some other options for testing the guidance tool in a small group before it's made public, like our preview option, or having the browser extension installed in a test group. So these are the different ways that you can publish the data and manage the different versions. So one of the next questions, what languages are supported? So as we face this fast-growing technology world with diversity, having our guidance tool capable of multi-language support was key for us. You could have your target application already geared up for multiple language, or you'd like to have just the end user or give the end user the ability to choose a language they are more comfortable in learning in. We do this in a very specific way, allowing you to have the freedom to have your message brought across in any language the correct way. We definitely are the leaders with regards to the translations in the digital adoption space. Like I mentioned, we do this in a very specific way. We use an industry-specific file known as SLIFT, so that translators don't need to know how to use our system or how really our system works. You don't need to recreate all your content in multiple different languages within an editor. Once you have identified the languages you'd like your guidance system in, we download this industry-specific file, which can be sent to a translator of your choice, or you could utilize one of our service offering options to do this. And once you receive the translated file, we upload that into the editor, and once it's published, your guidance system can offer the end users these choices of language. Okay, is customization possible? We enable customization in a few different ways. You can customize the theme, the look and feel of the tool over the target application. This can be as easy as just adjusting the color scheme, or actually reconfiguring the guidance display, the logos, the full look and feel of the application to really enhance your target application by so-called CSS styles. Secondly, we support and enable you to build custom widgets to enrich the user interface with active components. I will show you a little bit more in that when we do a live demo. And with regards to the analytics, we allow the connectivity to external recording systems like business reporting warehouses to extend the working abilities through APIs. So how does multiple applications in this process of tool chains? You may require the use of multiple applications. Newired functions across multiple applications, easily guiding or supporting users along the way, taking the complication out of simple and complex tasks alike. So you can learn directly within your app and not miles away. To get into a little bit detail of the multi-application function. We manage this through a URL within the editor. So we've come to another demo. I would like to elaborate a little bit more within our editor to show that really there's really no coding involved. You can design and deploy this quite easily. So I'm going to just slide into our next. Let's bring this over here. Okay. So like you've seen is the sandbox CRM that we use. And this is sitting in our editor. Here we have our launcher. We can have all the different journeys that we've created. And from here, you would manage creating the guidance tool. Just to demonstrate how easy it is to change the UI, we could easily click into our site settings, choose a color that we like. How about that? And there we go. We've now changed. Even the logo has changed. So you can have a full UI change with quite no coding or any real technical involvement. If you'd like to make it more functional to your brand awareness or brand corporate scheme, all this is possible within the within our service offerings. So let's get into creating a journey. I'm going to log in to make it easier, and we can create something a little bit more robust. So you've seen we're going to try and now create a call out. We want the user to click on create. Sorry, I think I'm in the wrong site. We can also easily change through our sites. So you can manage all your projects from one point of view. This is seeming to be a little challenging. If you can bear with me. As you can see, we have a lot of projects ongoing. There we go. It's up here. Okay. Okay, so we have one that has some information in it already. Like you see, we have the tooltips that are in here. So we're going to add a new journey. We're going to call it RFQ test and click save. So we've now created a new journey. We want to step. We want to click on create here. Let's put this in a way that doesn't obstruct. And we confirm the changes. Next, we add a new callout to create opportunity. We can do the same to put it that it doesn't obstruct and confirm changes. Once we are in the opportunity, we can just run this and see how it goes. We want the user to click there, good. And reverts back. Okay. Let's take how to create a new account. You can run it there. Let's click create account. Good. We have a next option here and save. So this is something that we've seen already. I just want to show you how we can add some more value into this journey. For example, if we want to put a little tooltip or an icon right here, we can easily do that. We would like to create an icon. So if you see it in our screen, let me just move this around. You have the option to really change in the big editor where you'd like it, and also the location. We'd like it somewhere here, and we'd like this to actually be a calculator, for example. So within, as you see, within the application, we have some default applications that you can use, be it a calculator. So if they need to work out something very quickly, they could do that within the application. We could also, we can save that. We can also have a maybe a currency converter, if they'd like, if they need to work out the difference between the euro and the dollar and put in a value, that can all be done within the application. So I think that really addresses some of the creativity side of things. You can definitely imagine how easy it would be to create these journeys. Under playbooks, we could have something called maybe first day. First day, we delete the rest, and in the first day we have an option to tell the users to watch a video and log into the application. And if we click OK, we need to just make this active. And if we go there now, we have first day, and in there the user can find a list of things to do. So it just shows how easy it is to be creative within the editor. We will surely go into more depth in a one-on-one presentation with the people that require it. So please contact us. Let us elaborate a lot more within the editor. So getting back to the common RFP questions, we are going to start talking about deployment and security. There are 3 ways to have the application deployed. An on-site service solution for high-level customers and public organization, a dedicated cloud solution serving up Newired to the target application, or a simple web browser extension allowing all the users to access the guidance tools available. When it comes to security and privacy, we do not track any personal data in any way. For reporting purposes, we only track the journeys. This helps you understand which journeys are working well and what needs to be improved on. This can also be turned off completely, as I mentioned. So in an on-premise setup, all the data that is generated sits within your hardware. We do not have access to any of that data. Licensing and pricing. Let's look at some of the options that we have here. Our licensing model is made public on our website. This is something that our competitors failed to do. We are absolutely 100% transparent with regards to our pricing model. So we do not charge for the content you create. We do not even charge for the editor or the number of editors you use. So you can have a group of people or content authors in charge of this guidance system at the same price. Our price is defined in 3 areas: the hosted environments, the license agreement with regards to the number of active users, and finally we have a number of value-added service offerings to help you and your team have the confidence to create visually engaging content and also promote your end users to confidently go through processes or tasks. We provide an annual subscription-based model, making it simple and easy to manage and utilize. So the value-add services, the most important value-added service in any digital transformation or digital application is the training. To perform this transition from conservative training methods to a digital adoption platform is such as gamification, the learning experience by actually doing, the approach of doing within the application is one that is proven to be more successful and more valuable for many organizations taking on this digital transformation. So how do we manage trainings and rollouts? There are different components, service packs, if you will, that are available on our websites that you can get more details on. We have a proof of concept which can be set up for a maximum of 4 weeks, where we can work together with your team and show a working model of Newired on your target application, and this can then be taken around to the different departments, and then once a decision's been made, we can move into a different maybe a rollout package where we find and build these milestones to achieve this deployment. We have a package called application profiling. This is something that we utilize to understand how our software couples with the target applications. As you can imagine, there are quite a few different ways to create applications nowadays. So, and they are getting more elaborate. So, with really complex applications, we do a profiling to make sure that we work well together. We have something called journey creation, where we can actually create these journeys on your behalf. We work together with an identified content author, and we together understand what you're looking for and how you'd like to see it with the type of language you require. Then we go in and we build this complete guidance system for you, and after a couple of review sessions, this can be made public and live. We also can support with regards to the guidance overlay and custom style. So like I showed you in the demo, you can have a different look and feel to it. We can definitely support you through that space. And for our on-premise clients, as we have no access to their applications or the software once it is installed in their premise, we offer a new release package. We generally do a new release package every quarter. Keeping our software improving all the time is one of a very important thing to keep us moving in the right direction, and also keep our clients' needs met. This is really one of the key values for us. So you've seen we have the solution, a guidance tool that just works. To recap, Newired is simple. No user data is extracted, making it very secure. It puts you in control of what you're publishing. We offer multi-application support, and this can be set up for multi-language display. Best of all, it's non-technical to use for all, and it has an easy subscription model. It's really easy to try. We offer a 14-day trial. You can arrange with our customer engagement managers for proof of concept if needed. Our application is a simple subscription that will reduce the training, ensure the proper completion of processes or tasks, and help you overcome any digital transformation hurdles. So that's really it for the webinar. So it's a simple solution to help you to get more out of your current web application, reduce costs for operations, and ensure the successful completion of processes and tasks. I urge you to get in contact with us and try it for yourself. See how easy it is to work with. So thank you so much for your time today, and we can open up for any questions that you may have. You can just type that in your chat. That'll come through to me. So if there's any questions, please pop that through to your chat now. I see we have a few questions coming in. One of the questions is how much work does my IT department need to do? Okay, good question. So the initial setup is quite simple. It's really a two-ended question here. If you are going with the on-premise setup, then there is definitely some involvement from the IT departments, with regard to MAC addresses, these sort of things, firewalls. But if you're going with a hosted solution, it's really simple. It's really a matter of minutes, and you can have a fully operational application running on your target application. So there is a little bit of technical need from your department, but nothing that needs to be really considered as how much time would it be. It's really 20 minutes max. Okay, we have another one. Another question says, can I start the journey halfway through the process? So that is possible. We use something like I showed earlier in the tooltips. This can hover over different boxes, or it can prompt or nudge the end user to start a journey in a certain direction. So yes, definitely. Another question comes in through the chat. Translations. Can I do translations? Yes, definitely. Translations is one of our fortes. We do it really, really well. It's very simple. You really don't need to have the understanding of how our system works to do the translation. We download a specific file that gets translated and reloaded, and then the guidance system is set to have multiple languages. So I'm just going to check if there's any more questions. Yeah, another question with regards to RFP is security. A lot of the RFP that we've completed so far, a lot of them require understanding what our security measures are, and all of these are documented and available. So if you want to engage with our customer engagement managers, we can definitely make that available to you, exploring how we keep our data secure, and how that works. Sure. So if there are no other questions coming in, I thank you really for all your time today, and urge you to get in contact with us and start your digital transformation.